Hello guys, welcome, or if you've already seen my channel before, welcome back. I am the Philadelphia Whovian, and for this video I said, you know what, I really want to do another list, but what can I do it of? Then I said, you know what, I've never really decided what was my favorite episode or story per season. So you know what? I'm going to do a favorite episode per season from season 1, the very beginning of Doctor Who, Classic Who with William Hartnell, and then series 10 with Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor. I'm going to be honest, guys, there were times where I completely chickened out. And I said, you know what? I can't make a decision, so I'm just going to stick with 2 or 3 episodes per season. So, without further ado, let's get down to this. So, season 1 we have with William Hartnell as the first Doctor, with Ian, Susan, and Barbara as the companions. And from this one, okay, I make it very clear, guys, I love this season. I love An Unearthly Child, the entire thing. I like the Daleks. I enjoy Edge of Distraction. I like the Reign of Terror. But honestly, I'm sticking with my 2 favorites being the Keys of Marinus and the Aztecs. And I know some people do not like the Keys of Marinus, but you know what, guys, each to his own. And those people who don't like it, you know, you like some episodes I don't like, I like episodes you don't like, that's just the way life goes. But I love the Keys of Marinus, and I love the Aztecs. So season 1, that's what I'm going with. Season 2. Now we have Vicky as a companion. Eventually we'll get Steve Taylor as well. But right now the 2 I'm going with are the Dalek Invasion of Earth and the Romans. Guys, there's just something about the Romans I totally dig. I'm sorry, I just do. And Dalek Invasion of Earth goes without saying. Then we get season 3, which at that point we have Dodo, but eventually we get Ben and Polly, and the story that I love a lot is the one where again Dodo's exiting and Ben and Polly are coming in. The War Machines. By God, do I love this story. It is so good. It is so good. Then we get season 4. Okay, season 4 had 2 episodes of William Hartnell as the first Doctor, but then I got Patrick Troughton as the second Doctor, his very first season, and he now has Ben and Polly still as his companions. The 2 I narrowed it down to with this one were The Power of the Daleks and The Faceless Ones. At that point we have Jamie as a companion. I love The Power of the Daleks. I still wish we had it as a live action episode. The animation is very good, but nothing beats live action. And The Faceless Ones, I dig that one. It totally floats my boat. Love it. Then we get season 5. Second season with the second Doctor. We have Victoria as a companion for this one. But the story that I'm going with it being my favorite is one where we get Zoe as the companion. The last episode, The Wheel in Space. Might be one of my favorite Cybermen stories ever. Then we get season 6. And that is the last season with Patrick Troughton as the Doctor, and we have Jamie and Zoe together as companions. On this one, I couldn't do it. I had to give a tie, and it's between The Invasion and The War Games. Okay, The Invasion is 8 episodes, and The War Games is 10. I was not bored once. By God, that's just television at its most epic, almost for me. Then we get season 7, the first season of the third Doctor, John Pertwee as the third Doctor, and we got now a unit as a more consistent, you know, they're going to make more regular appearances, and Liz Shaw is the companion for the season. I love every episode in this season, but I'm sticking with Spearhead from Space. So good. Then we get season 8. Now we have Joe Grant as the companion. And you see my top 10 companion stories. You know my, I'm sorry, not top 10 companion stories. Top 10 companions list. You know my love for Joe Grant too. And this one, guys, if you've seen my channel before, you know it took me a long time to see this story, but I finally saw it. The Mind of Evil. Yes! I saw it. Yes, I did. Okay, so The Mind of Evil. Then season 9. Okay, now some people don't like this story, but I like it. The Sea Devils. I know it's very similar to the Silurians, but I like the Sea Devils. I just do. Okay, then we get season 10. The last season of Joe Grant as the companion. This was hard. I loved every episode. Oh, no, almost every episode in this season. But the ones I went with was a tie between the 3 Doctors and Carnival of Monsters. I freaking love those stories so much. I think they are just perfection. 3 Doctors might be my favorite multi-doctor story, and Carnival of Monsters I think is very overlooked. Too much. Then we get season, I think we're in season 11 now. Sorry if I'm completely wrong with those numbers. Season 11. We now have Sarah Jane Smith as a companion, and even though I love the Time Warrior, I really do, guys, but I will always love Invasion of the Dinosaurs the most, and I think it's still also very overlooked. Then we get season 12, the first season of the Fourth Doctor played by Tom Baker, and we still get Sarah Jane Smith as a companion, along with Harry Sullivan now. If you hear anything in the background, it's a lawnmower. Sorry, now back to the thing. Season 12, okay, I love the Centaurian experiment. I think it's very underrated, but I'm sticking with Genesis of the Daleks for this one. Guys, okay, I know some people think it's overrated. Maybe it is or it isn't. Either way, it's still an overall darn good story. Genesis of the Daleks. So season 13. I'm sorry if I'm completely off my numbers when it comes to seasons now. Guys, I'm doing this from memory. What can you do? Season 13. And that is... Okay, I almost went with Terror of the Zygons, but I'm sticking with the Seeds of Doom. Freaking love the Seeds of Doom. I totally do. Totally do. Then we get season 14, where there were 2 episodes of Sarah Jane Smith. Now we have Leela as a companion. And I love Sarah Jane Smith, but if you've seen my top 10 companions list, you know my love for Leela. I think she is awesome. Now, this was a hard choice, but I'm sticking with the Robots of Death. I love this season, this story so much. Then we get season 15, and again, this was hard. I love so many episodes in this list, in this season, but I'm sticking with The Image of the Fendal. I hope I'm not wrong, I believe that was in this season. I love Image of the Fendal. I love a lot of this season, but Image might be my favorite. Then we get season 16, which is the Key to Time season. Okay, we now have Romana 1 as the companion. Guys, I make it very clear. I know I'm weird with this choice. I know Androids of Terror is the best. I know Ribus Operation is awesome. I know so is Pirate Planet. And I personally really enjoy the power of Kroll. But there's something about the Stones of Blood that floats my boat. It does. It just does. Then we get season 17 with Romana 2 as the companion. And I love this season. I really do. But guys, if you've seen my previous stories, you know it took me so long to see this and I finally saw it. The City of Death. Love City of Death. Then we get season 18, which is the last season of the 4th Doctor era. We have Romana 2, then eventually we get joined by Adric and Tegan and Nyssa as the companions. And there are people say that Tom Baker stayed in 1 season too long, but honestly, I love 4 episodes from his last season, so I can't be upset that this season happened. And this one, I'm going with Full Circle. I think Full Circle is a perfect story. Boom. It is. Then we get season 19 with the 5th Doctor played by Peter Davison. We still got Adric, Tegan, and Nyssa as the companions. And guys, I almost went with The Visitation. I almost did. In fact, give you a fun story about The Visitation. As you might know by now, I like writing Doctor Who fan fiction. And one day I said, ooh, I'm going to write a story with the Great Fire of London in it. I think it'd be a great idea. And then I saw The Visitation, and I'm like, oh, they already did that. Yeah. Whoops. That happened. My bad. I feel stupid. But what can you do, huh? But I said, you know what? I don't care. This time I'm going to do it anyway. And right now I'm writing a book of Doctor Who and the Great Fire of London. But don't worry, I'm not contradicting Visitation. I'm just writing around it, where something happened after Visitation that also included the Great Fire of London. But I said, I'm not losing it. I'm tired of that. But I almost went with the Visitation, but I'm going with Earth Shock. And Earth Shock, when I first saw it, I loved it, but then I overwatched it, and then it became overrated to me. But I watched it again recently, and I still love it. Then we get season 20. Guys, I love every episode in this season. I love Arc of Infinity so much. I like Snake-a-Dance a lot. But I'm sticking with the Black Guardian trilogy, which now we get Turlo as the companion. Guys, and I'm saying the whole thing, not just, you know, Modern Undead or Enlightenment. I'm saying the whole thing, including Terminus. Then we get season 21, the last season of the 5th. Oh wait, I forgot. I could include the 5 Doctors because it doesn't technically count as any season. It's like the Day of the Doctor. It's its own animal. So 5 Doctors also is in there that I love. Now, season 21, we get The Caves of Androzani, which was hard because I love every episode in this season, but The Caves of Androzani is just perfect. I know some people think it's overrated. No, it's not. It's perfection. That's why it's popular. Then we get season 22, where we have Colin Baker as the 6th Doctor. He got Perry as his companion from the previous Doctor. Okay, this was hard because I love pretty much almost every episode in this season. I actually don't hate any episode in this season, but I'm sticking with Vengeance on Varos. I know you all think, many people think, oh, it's overrated. No, it's popular because it's perfect. Get over it. Then we get season 23, The Trial of a Time Lord. Now, some people think of it as one long episode. Some think of it as split in different parts. Both are correct. My favorite from that season was The Terror of the Vervoids. I think it's a very overlooked story. Then we get season 24, where we have Sylvester McCoy as the Seventh Doctor, and he has Mel and Ace as companions. I don't hate his first season the way many people do, but with this one, my favorite would be Dragonfire. Then we get season 25, and this one, oh, this was hard, but I'm sticking with it. Two-parter. This is not two-parter. Two selections. I made a tie because I couldn't choose between Remembrance of the Daleks and Greatest Show in the Galaxy. These two stories are just so incredible to me. Then we get season 26, the last season of classic Doctor Who. And even though I love Survival, I think it hurts and I can't choose that one because it's the last season of the show of Classic Who, and it has a bitter feeling for me because of that. So I'm sticking with Battlefield and the Curse of Fenric. If you guys saw my top 10 companions list, you know my love for Ace. I just love her so much, and I love those two stories. Now we get Classic Who, Series 1 with Chris Eccleston as the Ninth Doctor and Rose Tyler as his main companion. Guys, it's nothing original. I'm sticking with the Empty Child, the Dr. Dance's two-parter. That's a no-brainer for me. I know some people think it's overrated because now you're going through a phase where you hate Stephen Moffat. Whether you hate him or not, you can't stop the fact that this is a great story. It just is. You can't change that. It's such a great story. It's some of the best television I've ever seen. Then you get Series 2, which is also really easy for me. We got David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Rose Tyler still his main companion. And it's the two-parter, The Impossible Planet, and Satan's Pit. Even though there's some inconsistencies between that and Classic Who sometimes, overall I still very much enjoy this story. It has a lot of great aspects to it. Then and it's not hard for me because there are many episodes from the season I'm not that crazy about, so for me this was the best one I could think of. Then we get Series 3. This is strange because, guys, I love Blink. I do. I like Utopia and Sound of the Drums. I love everything in Last of the Time Lords that surrounds Martha. And I even like episodes from this season that are not very good. I like Lazarus Experiment. I do. I like watching 42. I like watching Shakespeare Code and Smith and Jones. But I'm sticking with Gridlock. It's just the one I watch the most. I think it's so different and unique. And I love Martha in it, how she looks after herself, but she's not hysterical the entire time. She keeps a level head. And I like how she forces the Doctor to sit down and talk about Gallifrey, and she forces him to stop lying. Because he lied to her face, and he got called out in the lie. It's fine that she called him out on it, because he lied to her. I know some people are like, oh, she threw a party at the end. But it's like, dude, no. She had the right to call him out on that. And we have Martha as the companion for this season. And then we have Series 4 of David Tennant's era. We get now Donna Noble as the companion. And this one is another no-brainer. It is the Silence in the Library two-parter. I know some people think it's overrated. No, it's not overrated. It's a darn good story. It just is. Then we get Series 5, where we have the 11th Doctor played by Matt Smith, and then we got also Amy and Rory as the main companions. Guys, this was hard. I had to narrow it down to 3 stories. That was me doing my best. And that came down to the 11th Hour, Amy's Choice, and Vincent and the Doctor. That was me narrowing it down. Then we get Series 6. Okay, I know a lot of people hate Series 6. Now, I don't like the overall arc of what the season was, but I love a lot of episodes in this season. I'm able to look at it as individual episodes too, and I love a lot of episodes in it. And even though I love The Impossible Astronaut and Day on the Moon, I love that so much. Actually, I'm sticking with the Doctor's Wife in an episode that a lot of people hate, The God Complex. Guys, I just love those 2 stories. I can't help it. Though Impossible Astronaut almost got in there. Almost did. Then we get Series 7, where we get now Clara Oswald also as a companion to the 11th Doctor. And this one was another no-brainer, Hyde. I love Hyde. I never get sick of watching it. I think it's so unique. What a great idea. It's just feels really unique and original there. Then we get Series 8, where we now have Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor. And Clara is still his companion. Guys, make it very clear, I love Deep Breath. I love Listen, but there's something about Mummy on the Orient Express that is just so my thing. Like, I love stories like that so much. Love a good mummy. Sorry. Then we get Series 9, and this was a tie between Heaven Sent and the Under the Lake two-parter. I think those stories are just fantastic. Then we get Series 10, where we now have Bill Potts and Nardole as the companions, and the final season of the 12th Doctor. And the final season right now of New Who until Jodie Whittaker comes in as the 13th Doctor. Alright, guys, for me, I know it's strange because people don't really care much one thing or other about the story, but I think it's my favorite Peter Capaldi story ever. Oxygen. I love that story. I dig everything about that story. So I'm sticking with it. I am. I'm not apologizing for it. So guys, that's my list of my top stories from season 1 of Classic Who to series 10 of New Who. And sorry I couldn't give long explanations of my favorite story. No, sorry, why that's my favorite story for each one to give into detail about it. But the truth is, guys, my camera is completely on the fritz. And I don't know if it's going to keep working on me. That's why I haven't done a video in so long. This is my 6th attempt to do this video. My 6th attempt. If you don't hear from me again in a long time, it's because I have to go and buy a new camera. That's all it is. So guys, again, I hope you enjoyed my list of my favorite stories per season. What is your favorite stories per season? Think about that. It's actually really fun to think about. And come up with a list. And if you want to, you can let me know. You don't want to let me know. It's all good. But I hope you very much enjoyed this video. And guys, I hope to see you again so very soon. Peace out.